Hi guys, welcome back to Fata Morgana. Today we are going to be beginning Michelle's chapter, and oh my god, my first impression is that the background music is very, very creepy. It's going to be exciting to see some more of Michelle's backstory because I've been wanting to see this ever since, let's be honest, chapter 5, and obviously when we first started really getting to know Michelle. And obviously the more we learn about Michelle, in theory, the more interesting chapter 4 is going to become as well. So, yeah, my god, this scene with Morgana and Gazelle, and obviously Michelle as well, it was kind of just Morgana being an asshole and making Michelle ask the question of why should Gazelle be with you in the first place, and yeah, just properly doubting it. And isn't it interesting because we know this scene is false because and obviously that this is not the real Gazelle because obviously the real Gazelle was the maid, but also when Gazelle looked at Michelle's letters, they were covered in blood. It was as if she was not allowed to see them, which is actually quite notable. Yeah, so yeah, the fuck, right, anyway, yeah, let's just reread a little bit because I haven't actually been able to read for quite a few days. I just find it hilarious to think about the fact that Morgana kind of attributes something like this to something that Michelle has done. And what I find interesting is the fact that when we see the bad ending where the white-haired girl is living in the present day and then Michelle gets kind of transported to it and he dies because he doesn't really understand the system of traffic. I mean, they were two different people. I think it was very coincidental that they saw each other, but at the same time they were two people, and I do wonder if that could maybe prove that Michelle is not the same person as the white-haired girl. Or maybe it is the case that, I don't know, the past Michelle gets to see the present one or something like that. I don't really understand that. I just wonder how that would explain, no, how you would use that to possibly explain the ending, because I'm not really sure at the moment. I just wonder if they are the same person or if Morgana is lying. Yeah, it's hard to tell. Yeah, true. Sounds very nightmarish, this song. That's interesting that Gazelle can make that conclusion. But obviously, I mean, when something like this is said, it's hard to think anything other than the fact that Michelle is the white-haired girl. Yeah, that is the pain that hurts the most. And I think Michelle is thinking so instinctively that he doesn't even realise that this is not the real Gazelle. Yeah, fair enough. I just find it so weird, is no longer female. Like, so there was an indication that Michelle's name was the female version and the body was female at a point in time? What? I don't get it. Interesting. Yeah, that is odd. And you really do wonder if that letter could have some sort of... could have had some sort of really bad consequence. We do know that the mother is mad, and maybe this is something that Michelle has been very insecure about, and same for her. Maybe it's something that has troubled all of them, and obviously they're dealing with it in different ways. Yeah. Sorry, Michelle, but I want to know. Oh god, 2 things. Why not 1? I really do wonder. I kind of get the impression that 1 is like, yeah. So 1 could be the red eyes, but then 1 could be, well, I don't know. I mean, when he's a baby, you're not really going to tell that. You're not really going to be able to tell that there's something, well, I suppose, odd about his sex. What are the 2 unusual things? Yeah, that's what I thought. That's interesting. Yeah, the brief period of happiness where you could raise your kid without realising what's happening because your love clearly isn't strong enough to accept your kid. Even if the kid's different to what you would have expected. So everything came... What? How? That's really weird. Oh my god, look at this way of... Oh god, it's Antonin. But look at this way of presenting unusual. Looks very, very different, and if anything, it looks a lot less refined. And I do wonder if that's intentional. Liddy. That's the mother's name, I'm assuming. Yeah. I wonder what is odd about these 2 questions. She. Oh yeah, that's interesting. It's actually quite ironic to think about the fact that the red eyes could give completely the opposite connotation. And to be honest, it is quite surprising that they accepted this. Wait, hang on a second. Wait, so when it says that colour, is it talking about something other than the eyes, or what? Wait. So she's opened her eyes more than once, okay. Yeah. know, I do think it is very unusual that he has had eyes like this. I know, it's really rare. So, I mean, firstly, it's just ironic to think about the fact that, I suppose, the whole... I don't know if Michel is a transgender person. I mean, I'd assume he is from all of the stuff we've had here. So I suppose that's rare in itself. And then you see something that's even rarer, i.e. red eyes. I'm going to search up what is the chance of a person having red eyes. I don't know if that's documented or anything. So... Alright, so, yeah. Okay, so I can't really find much for it, but apparently there's a condition called albinism where there's a lack of melanin produced by the body, which means there's a lack of pigment that's available in people's eyes, and that can sometimes lead to eye colours that are more red. But, yeah, there's nothing that naturally happens. It didn't say whether that's possible at birth, but yeah, I mean, considering the fact that it's a very deep and enchanting and strong colour, I think you've got to interpret this with a bit of salt. Just the fact that this isn't really something that could happen in real life. Like, the eye colours are really, really deep and strong rather than faded like they probably would be if you had albinism. Yeah, that aged well. Isn't it interesting that they treat their kid just as a normal couple who are parents would, and then reality will hit soon. I know, seriously. Alright, oh, that's interesting. This is a convenient name, just considering the fact that Michelle can easily be altered to give a male equivalent as well. Yeah. Oh god, this is going to be unusual. Yeah. But that is reasonable, just considering how unusual Michelle is physically. God, they're just totally rubbing in the fact that it's a female name. Oh my god, so what's this? I mean, obviously this is their house, but... Oh my god, the fuck is that? That looks so oddly scary. god, so this is young Michelle. That's really surprising. So Michelle, oh yeah, I remember Michelle always beating Gazelle at chess. Who the hell is this? This is really cool art. Did you? Oh, I like that, yeah. I mean, obviously, I like how it's put. I would not like to be the person receiving that message, though. And I'm surprised that Michelle is this old and yet he's still believed to be a girl. Or at least, well, not really that, but he's accepted. Let's just say that. And he looks very, very stone cold, which does make sense considering everything we saw before Michelle began falling for Gazelle. Oh my god, man. How many people thought derivation as in maths or physics were just with an equation? Oh. Oh no, okay. No, so I thought it was some sort of particular war-related word. No, so just obtaining something from the source or origin is like a generalized description. Oh my god, I'd assume he has read quite a lot of them. Yep, relatable. Ironic. Who the fuck is this? So that's interesting about the military related stuff. Yeah, but I just find it surprising. So you're able to learn real war related tactics. So then that can, and I suppose commanding and positioning all of your troops in a place that's going to make you win, basically. It's interesting that it's quite similar to that. I've not really played chess much, but yeah. Oh, I wonder why. Yep, and I suppose by a girl as well. Or girl. Oh, right, so they are siblings rather than friends, okay. True. Yeah, I see what. Yeah, so I suppose you have a guardian angel, so as a result of that, you, even if you're not fully prepared for battle, are going to be fine. But the only thing is, I mean, I do agree when the question of where is the logic in all of this is asked, because Michelle is assuming that one loss means he's not ready to command, well, potentially be in command and keep up with the flow of battle. I mean, this is one time. And people can improve as well. Does nobody listen to me? Oh, God. That must be terrifying. Oh, God, so... Also, Didier. What a high class... Sorry, what an upper class name. I wonder if Michelle is going to go instead of George's. George's. Why not just George? Again, another really unusual name. What? Oh, so that's where they're from. That's hilarious. God. Yeah, just to humiliate them. Yeah. Yeah. If anything, I think they're doing it just so that, well, somebody else can look good. True. Michelle is a girl, and the thing is, I'm sure he would be very eager to do this sword fight. So if I'm going to be honest, I'm really surprised that Michelle is not... Well, I just don't understand. So Michelle is treated as a girl here. I mean, I would have thought... I don't know. I just would have thought that they would have realised if she was trans or not. And I was thinking that they realised that she was trans when, obviously, she starts growing, and then they stop kind of accepting her, and then that's where she gets outcasted. But it looks like there's a lot more to the story than I initially expected. Yeah, yeah. Even more so because of the fact that they have a name to hold up. I see what George's is saying, yeah. I like his mindset. Yeah, if you're going to completely make a fool of yourself, do it in style. Times are wasting. Who says that? Dude, this is like... What was the year again? Do you know what? I might actually look this up. So... That... Oh my god, you're so fucking stupid. Looks like I'm not looking it up then. Oh well. Or maybe I have... Load! Yeah, I do actually have a save slot here. Oh, never mind. Right, okay, here we go. I forgot which year it was. So, 1086. Okay. So 13 years before chapter 6 begins. Because chapter 6 begins in 1099, if I remember correctly. And Michelle has been in the mansion for 10 years, so we've got another 3 years here. Which is actually surprising. I would have thought there'd be less. But yeah. I can see why his brothers would support him. They seem really quite loving and they all seem close. Which is quite surprising considering A, they are a rich family, and B, it's, I don't know, 1099. But it's really surprising considering they are a rich family. To the courtyard we go. Yeah, Didier is not going to want to botch training. Now, is Michelle going to ask to replace Georges? Oh. What? Why can't he go outside? What? What do you mean? Oh, interesting. I could imagine him being... Oh, he's a court artist. Interesting. Yeah, I could imagine Didier being a knight. Yeah, with his looks. He just looks like somebody that would be right for the job. Yeah. And no kids after Michelle as well. God, that's really... That is interesting. So Michelle, obviously it's similar to the white-haired girl in that sense, but yeah, he spent so much time inside. Good for them. He's really lucky he has these people. That's really cool. Yeah, because, yeah, I suppose it's kind of similar to Gazelle, ironically, because Gazelle can read. Well, actually, I think Gazelle couldn't really read much, but she learnt more with Michelle, and that was a way they kind of bonded within the, well, near a year that they spent together. So it's interesting that they both have that in common. Isn't it ironic considering that we see Michelle hold a sword when fending off all of the people in the village? Yeah, you're just being totally reduced in terms of opportunities because of your gender. I see that. Yeah, so you could have, yeah, you could have been perfectly capable, but at the same time, yeah, that is unfair. I see that. Damn. That kind of scared me. Did not expect that. This is such a cool little background as well. They did a really nice job on this. And I like how they kind of make the background like one of those really old pieces of paper that you would only see in historical contexts. God, he doesn't know anything. God, this is really unfair. Oh my god, Michelle must be in so much pain because there's somebody who doesn't know how to do this whatsoever. And yet, he's never had an... she's never had an opportunity. And, yeah, must be odd. It does look really quite soulless in this picture. Yeah, so that's reasonable though. I mean, you have brothers that you want to connect with more, but you can't, just simply because of your gender. I know, it's sick, yeah. And it really doesn't help with Michelle's skin colour as well. Yeah. Yeah, fair enough. Being idiots. Well, George is just being an idiot, to be fair. It's hilarious. Now you can kind of paint a picture for what might begin to happen. That is fair. Yeah, that won't put Michelle off though. God, you can just see how controlled society is. Holy shit, I mean, let this person do what they want. God. Yeah, that's brutal. Well, that's ironic. I think everybody who does art in my year is a girl. So I just kind of refer to that when thinking about this. I can see the makings of something, possibly. But the only thing is, of course they will, because society was so controlled. Yeah, it's just, you're a woman, you have to do this. No freedom to go outside of your interests. And the same goes for being a man as well. I mean, look at Georges, for example. But he doesn't want to have to do that, but because he's male, he is kind of expected to do so. Well, isn't it ironic to think about the fact that in 3 years she would have become mad, and I just really wonder what has happened in order to make that happen. This is a really nice track, by the way, can I just mention? Look at embroidery of sweaty men. Best solution. Yeah, but the only thing is you have to follow her orders. And I mean, to be fair, it's kind of a shame because while the mother... You could argue from modern societal point of view that it's bad that her mother is restricting what the kid would want. But at the same time, don't blame the mother, blame society. She's just doing what she thinks is right because of how society has guided her. I would blame society more than the mother here. Really? Well, I mean, she is really forcing you to do this. You don't exactly want to spend time with her at the moment. You want to connect with your brothers more, but I mean, she seems loving here. But I can definitely see some sort of dislike. I mean, who would not have that dislike? Let's be honest here. Her mum was isolated. Really? Why was it isolated? Was it just the house and nothing else? So basically you've got the question of how different is Michelle and her mother's world, or his mother's world, or whatever. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I was quite surprised. I mean, you love somebody, so why is that a bad thing? But then you realise that somebody loves you, so as a result of that, you feel more pressure to not live life like you want, but to live life like she wants, so that the person that loves you is happy, and to kind of be selfless in a way. I can see that actually. I'm surprised that I can, but I can. So why is it the case that when Gazelle met Michelle, there was not even an indication of the fact... No, why are we learning this now? That's the better question to ask, if this is who you see in the mirror. I mean, surely you would have thought that Gazelle could think that Michelle at least sounded feminine? Like, how would Michelle not even sound like a woman? I don't get it. Or is Morgana... Is there something... No, there isn't. There can't be. Yeah, but that is interesting. I do get that. Yeah, fair enough. Be your own person. But you can't. That's the thing. I mean, sure, she's a loving mother. She wants to have her kid kind of pursue her interests, but obviously, what if the kid doesn't want it? That's the question you've got to ask. Yeah, God, and that is another awful thing. Just to think about something like this, just the total lack of freedom you have. Because you don't want to learn these skills, but you have to, rather than having fun and being able to express yourself in a way you would want to, like her brothers can. Yeah, totally reasonable. Yeah, and that's the worst thing, to think about the fact that marriage isn't really... Marriage is just a status symbol here. It isn't even something that is done because of love. Or anything like that. God. Yeah, and I mean, you can totally see why Michelle would be into this. Yeah, so it's interesting. I suppose she has admiration for her brother. So as a result of that, she kind of uses that admiration as an excuse to kind of escape from her own problem. Well, not really escape from her own problems. This is just kind of increasing her problems because she's thinking, well, she's just wanting to be someone she can't be even more. Oh, it must have been really heavy, yeah. God, yeah, that must be... It must be very difficult to do sword fighting while wearing protective gear. Especially something like a helmet. God. Yeah, how hot was it? That is a very good question. And how does it weigh? How much does it weigh as well? Yeah. Do you know what's sad? Michelle just feels like somebody who's properly intellectual as well. I mean, Michelle really feels like... I mean, obviously you've got to be intellectual to do stuff like embroidery, sure. But at the same time, and to obviously make something good, but it feels like his intellect is really more what would be expected of a man in that time. Yeah. Yep, and it's totally sowing the seeds for, well, whatever causes Michelle to be banished and Antonin to believe that he's dead. Can I just mention, I think this way of showing the sprites is so weird, but I do kind of like it, and I do wonder just what its significance is. I mean, I suppose these are kind of like portraits of the people rather than... Well, I suppose maybe they're portraits because they're more like images Michelle has in his mind, just buried away. I don't know. Yeah, fair enough. Oh, yeah, that's fair enough, yeah. Yeah, I suppose as a result of that, he has to do something he doesn't really want to do. But, I mean, he will do it, of course, but, yeah. Yeah, don't. Yeah, I mean, Georges is kind of being a bit selfish and only... He's only really looking at it from his point of view. But obviously, Michelle looks through the point of view of somebody who has admiration. Ironic. Because obviously this person is as passionate as Didier. What's happening? Yeah, you can really tell that this is an obsession. Yeah, that's reasonable, but the only thing is this is something that is integrated into society, and it's a societal norm. So he has a name and a reputation to hold, so even if he did want Michelle to be there, would he be able to actually do it without, firstly, destroying the reputation of the family, and secondly, destroying his reputation as a person? Yeah, I wouldn't go hoping. Yeah, God, you can really just see so many traits that a respectful young girl would definitely not have in that time. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. No. No, 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 no. Yeah, fair enough. But, I mean, if Michelle is being very unrealistic here, my God, just give this man some privacy. God, so he's probably like Michelle in a way that he really admires Didier. Just totally exaggerates what he's going to do. Or maybe he's lying. Oh. yeah, proven by the fact that, well, he is getting dressed. And yeah, Michelle was just casually walking in. To be honest, these people are good brothers and they are supportive. I mean, hence, look at what happens 10 years later. They are still supporting him and they are still sending essentials for him to live. That shows people who have proper loyalty. So, I think Michelle getting his feelings out to somebody who probably isn't going to tell the mother is probably quite a good thing. So how old is Didier? He looks like he's easily 25. Georges looks like he's probably around 20. Well, you do a thing. Oh, fuck, the mother's bound to the house. And so's Michelle in a way. I mean, to be fair, I get that Michelle wants to learn to swing a sword, but at the same time, his hypersensitivity to sunlight. It's horrible to say, but is it really the most realistic thing to do? Because of his physical condition as well as, obviously, his gender? Oh, this is what he's been feeling for years. Yeah, fair enough. Because I suppose the thing is about the whole embroidery and jewellery and fashion related world that the mother was trying to rope her into. It's peaceful. This world is energetic. It's a total adventure, and all of it is just, it's really, really fun. I can see why yeah, she'd want to get into that world rather than the mother's world. True. But obviously, if they hadn't have spent so much time, they wouldn't have had this issue. What, because she's a girl? Yeah, fair enough. And, I mean, it's unrealistic at the moment, but at the same time, I mean, I don't know, it's like a 6-year-old saying, oh, they're going to get a degree. They're not going to get a degree at 6, but they will when they train. It's kind of like that, in a way. Like, when I say a degree, I mean a university degree. That feels like a line that should be in Umineko, but isn't. Yeah, because Michelle, unfortunately, is being really, really aspirational, but he's totally being a rebel. I do wonder if you could make the argument that he is being quite spoiled in a way. But the only thing is, I mean, this is the worst thing. He doesn't want this protection. He wants to be doing Didier's role. It's hopeless. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's true, but yeah. Yeah, he's just exactly the same. So I suppose, yeah, these people were going with society's morals, whereas Michel's going with his own and not being a complete slave to the world, or the society that he lives in, basically. This is such unusual art, it really is. I like it though. Makes a very different way of storytelling. Yeah, Michel's a lot more emotional than normal. Yeah, true. Yeah, but I suppose that sounds like there's a real lack of personal connection there, even though that's not the case at all. But you still did it because you care. God. Yeah, look at how angry Michel is. He's really letting everything show. God. Well, yeah, I do see that. Just understanding the basic principle that Michel is... Well, Michel's female, and yet she doesn't want to do everything that a female would normally do. I think it's reasonable. I mean, you find interests. Well, no. So you spend time with your brothers, and then they kind of invite you to their interests, like for example chess, and obviously military-related books, and stuff like that. Because of the fact that they are men, and you kind of grow up learning about interests that you can't really pursue. So then when what you have to pursue comes up, you obviously want to be a rebel because you want to do what you're interested in, not what somebody else wants you to do. And I mean, it's totally reasonable. It is all reasonable. True. Fair enough, yeah. If you are that desperate, what you do is you go out and you do it yourself, and you don't rely on anybody else, to be honest. I mean, I get that it will be hard, but at the same time, what's better? Doing something that's really, really difficult and being able to say that you are trying and just being able to do what you want, or just constantly crying about the fact that you can't. And I mean, it may be difficult, but unfortunately, that's because society's not fair. Oh, yeah, I get that. Yeah, so... No, but the only thing is the chains in the heart were kind of formed as a result of her brothers being there, because obviously Michel feeling that she's missing out as a result of not being able to do what the brothers are also doing. But I think Michel's going to do something unrealistic and is going to try her hardest to become a swordsman, because of that scene we saw with Gazelle and Michel when she led the village to the mansion. It wouldn't. And if anything, it would only worsen it, because if you were a knight, then you can say goodbye to having good relationship with your mother. you can say goodbye to this house, probably. And, well, you can just say goodbye to your happiness. If anything, it's kind of, you're kind of in a really deadly road at the moment, because you can either just continue, sure, you won't be happy, but you could also be yourself, and then you could get consequences, a lot of consequences. And it's sick that that has to be the case. I will not deny that, but it is. That's just the world they live in, unfortunately. What, when he was undressed? Nah, I'm just kidding. This is not an Edoge. Which, honestly, I think the only chapter that could have become an Edoge so far is chapter 2. Edoguro. Yeah. That's what I'm kind of imagining. Yukimasa in an Edoguro setting. Oh god. Maybe chapter 6, but no. This story just doesn't need 8 scenes, seriously. It's not in its style. Yeah. Yeah, fair enough. Imagine if those ideals were political, that would be funny. Fair. Yeah, and it must have been. Yeah, to be fair, I like how Michelle's kind of seeing what her own wants are imposing on the people that are close to her, because they are making their lives harder. So what now? So Michelle is actually really young. Damn. Well, young. Not really young, but like younger than I thought. I'm sorry, but Michelle did not look 13. I've seen that word before. I don't know what it means though. Halcyon. Alright, so a period of time in the past that was idyllically happy and peaceful. Not what I was expecting, but okay. Another interesting theme. Anyway, my point is, Michelle easily looks 16 in that photo. Or is that just me? And I was thinking that George just looked around, like, I don't know. I said 20 initially and Didier 25, but maybe they're a lot younger, who knows? Yeah, of course, because that gives Michelle a good opportunity to be outside. That's interesting. Who is this? Is this the crush? And oh my god, Michelle possibly falling in love with a girl. Oh god. Societal collapse. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah. So she clearly looks like she's upper class. Especially with that hair. Oh, she knows her. But I find it very interesting that everybody here thinks Michelle is really quite pretty, and if anything, they don't discriminate Michelle for their looks, which ironically is something that happened with all of the white-haired girls. It's just surprising that people were kind of accepting Michelle's looks rather than the opposite, which you would have thought might have been more common in times like these because, well, difference is less permitted in society. Yeah, I know, that is weird. Arranged marriage time. Even though this would not be very legal at the time. Oh. Oh yeah, I forgot that detail. I mean, usually you wouldn't have thought a fiance of somebody else would do this to somebody that they've never met, but okay. Yeah, I get that. Yeah. Jobert. I'd assume that's French. I don't know though. How do you pronounce Jobert? I do not speak French. So Jobert. Jobert. I don't know. Something like that. Your name is Jobert. For what I concern. I'll just call her Amy. Aime. Aime. Yeah, just use Japanese pronunciation. But to be fair, you don't really see EE, you see EI instead of EE. But you could technically have EE if you have like a kana character and then you have a lengthener, I suppose. Isn't that interesting? The fact that nobody has told her something that big. Dude, who is the woman in the painting that has white hair that Gazelle looks at and then Michelle obviously discovers and gets mad at? And then the knife scene happens. Was Antone in there? Oh yeah, God, that's brutal. So I suppose there's a lot less in terms of attention as well. To be fair, they are older, so of course it would be natural that they'd have more that they can do in their lives than Michelle. I do wonder where Michelle is headed. Well, they are a happy family, but Michelle's not happy, and unfortunately, that has the potential to ruin everything. Especially after what we've seen later on. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Yeah. She is obsessed. Yet another indication that she really, really goes against the norm. It just feels like there's every single societal norm that a girl should have in these times, and then you just feel like Michelle is there just going against every single one of them. That could be so taken out of context, can I just mention? Yeah, because maybe this could indicate, maybe it could be an indication to her that problems could be solved. It must be very weird not really being able to be with people your own sex at all, and the one person that you are that has the same sex as you is somebody who is not really that healthy for you to be near. D. Yeah, he can't say anything. Artistes? Why not artists? Being a court artist, though, that must be so weird. Jesus Christ. You can definitely tell that this is a gathering that is fully aimed at Georges. So I just want to see what is the exact role of a court artist. Well, so what actually is a court artist? So they quickly capture a moment on paper and then sell their work to media outlets who would otherwise be denied a visual record of their trial. Okay. So they need to use detailed means of sketching moments quickly. Can I just mention, why do the artists of Fata Morgana do ears so weirdly? No, it's just the earlobes. They just look... I mean, the ear looks awesome. But there's just the earlobes. They just look so weird. Or is that just me? That's hilarious. Yeah, but like economically and in business terms. Yeah, he's got a point. God, he's pissed off. What is it? Interesting. Potential bad people? Fair enough, yeah. Yeah, totally. Yep, I can totally see that. That's so embarrassing. Yeah, totally. Yep. I can relate. Oh my god. I think that's so funny. Yeah. Yes, yeah, attractive. And then, oh, how old are you? Oh god. Oh god, that really makes it sound worse than it actually is. Yeah. Yeah, you've been treating her like a fucking object and a status symbol. Well, she hasn't exactly done the same, but still, that is true. Yeah, totally. Yeah. And I mean, if I'm going to be honest, I think... I get that this is obviously going to be a reason for Michelle to furtherly justify why she hates being a girl, but like, also just being treated like an object just because of your looks. I mean, who would not think fuck off when people like this come nearby? I certainly would if I was in Michelle's situation. Yeah, true. Yeah. Yeah, I get what Michelle's saying, actually. Yeah, fair enough. God. Yeah. And that's even worse, yeah. This is such a wrong sentence. Jesus Christ. But maybe... Yeah. Wait, hang on a second. When he says one knee before me, is this like a proposal? Like the position you'd go in when giving somebody a ring? Oh, right. So he needs... Oh, I see. So he needs to actually get down on his knee because of how much taller he is. I'm surprised that Michelle's not that tall because... I mean, Michelle seemed like a reasonably tall person. God. Oh, I see. What, so you want some horny cunt who's been staring at you to do this just because it's societally acceptable? I mean, I don't blame Michelle for thinking, fuck you to society. Right, okay, so... Yeah, totally reasonable. I mean, these people have been staring at you like you're a fucking object. So, and obviously talking like you're just a status symbol rather than an actual person. So, of course. Yeah. Yeah, because I suppose that is a greeting that a girl would do rather than... And obviously you don't really want to do... Well, you don't really want to label your identity to something like that. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. No, it's not the other way around. I totally agree, it's not fair. But unfortunately, that's what you have to do. And if you don't do it, then people are going to be disappointed at you. Your parents aren't going to accept you. Yeah, totally, yeah. Hang on a second, I swear. Oh, wanton. That's what I was thinking of. Oh, okay. So wonton is a type of dumpling found in Chinese cuisine. That's where I've heard it. True. Yeah, so do it for your brother, take the bullet for him. And then what you do is you say, oh, I've just got to do XYZ. And you wash your hands. You get that filth off of your hands if you're that self-conscious. Exactly, yeah. Yeah, but let's be honest, this person is horny, he is going to. It's just a way of him taking advantage of her, really. Really? Bastard. You are an asshole. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. That's probably just the best thing to do. God. Yeah. I just find it really interesting to think about the fact that Michelle understands how much this incompetence at delivering a greeting is going to hurt, obviously, the family's reputation and also just in general George's as well. But he just can't. He just really, really can't. It's interesting that, I mean, in nowadays, like a greeting like this, I mean, I suppose it is normal so people don't really question it, but at the same time, I mean, it is just physical contact that not everybody would be comfortable with, but obviously there isn't that societal understanding here, so of course, Michelle was made to look bad. But I mean, to be honest, I do wonder what would have happened if... Never mind. Oh god, you're just embarrassing yourself more. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, not very ladylike. Ladylike, should I say. Yeah, there are some times where you can't maintain fronts. You just need to be by yourself, and you can't make up appearances just because you feel so you feel really quite provoked. It is a shame that Michelle just finds it so hard to live in general, really, and you can definitely see why tragedy would be possible. Because let's be honest, I kind of get the impression that Michelle was going to really impact the relationship between him and his brothers, as well as obviously the relationship of the entire family. Oh, I don't know, sexual harassment maybe? Well, I mean, I'm sorry, but in the modern day times, sure, you could maybe count that as sexual harassment. I mean, I'm sorry, but like, he forced her. He literally grabbed Michelle's hand and then put it on his knee. I mean, that's just messed up. There's no other way of really describing that. Yeah, good. Wash your hand. Yeah. You can really see how Michelle's not built for society at all. Yeah, that's a shame. God. Yeah. No, you shouldn't blame Georges. I mean, of course that is true, but at the same time, they're nobility. They have money. They have business potential. So, of course, sometimes that will be the most important thing. Their personality and what they do and how they take advantage of people who they think are lower than them. Yeah, that's another story. But at the same time, I mean, not all of this is Georges' fault. Because Michel did embarrass him. To be honest, I don't disagree with that. Yeah, I forgot about that detail. Yeah, fair. Yeah, that's reasonable. Well, it wasn't nice of you sexually harassing her. Oh, Jesus, what's going to happen now? Is this the man? Oh, God, that's bad. Ah, so he's drunk as well. Yep, that makes things even worse. Oh, Jesus. Right. Yeah, and it's just everything that happens with Michelle is just disadvantage after disadvantage. And I can really see why Michelle would want to totally cast away this past forever, to be honest. Okay, that was actually not what I was expecting. Yeah, you have firstly taken advantage of her. Yeah, you kissed her just a little bit too intently. But also you've got her by the wrists really, really tight, and then you have forced her towards the wall and made it so that she can't escape whatsoever because of how tight you're holding her hands. And then you're saying that you're no monster. Right, okay then. She's just an innocent fucking girl. What are you talking about? Oh yeah, and she's a kid as well. Yeah, just thought I'd mention that. Yeah, seriously. Well, I think that was over ever since she first set eyes on you. Okay, mister, I am not gonna hurt you. Fuck off. You are insane. Yeah, fair enough. Really? I'm sorry, but you just want to take her clothes off. Like, there's no other way of saying it, really. What? Was it a minstrel way of saying a songwriter? Oh wait, so a medieval singer or musician. He's also possibly a paedophile, but like, yeah, of course he's not going to mention that. Yeah. Yeah, and this is yet another thing. Because I think the thing that's horrible with Michelle is being a woman obviously makes it so that all of the stereotypes are there and she can't really pursue what she would want to. But then obviously being a woman also means your quality of life is so much worse and you're so vulnerable to being taken advantage of by shitheads like this. Being a woman sucks in times like these. Yeah. Oh my god. How many people has he tried this on? Jesus. be so unpleasant. I wonder if Michelle could try and headbutt him. Could that work? Or is she too far against the wall to give like a really powerful blow? Because surely if you wanted to headbutt somebody, you'd put your neck backwards and then you just lunge forward to you deliver more of a powerful blow if you put your neck backwards than if you just started from your neck just being straight up. Dude, headbutt him. Fucking hell. I really want you to headbutt him. He deserves it. It must be so unpleasant though. I mean, she's just totally being taken advantage of. Yeah. And that is something that Michelle has that a lot of people probably would not have in this time. A lot of self-confidence and just an ability to stand up to herself. Right. Mr. I'm not gonna hurt you, fuck off. What a liar. I really hope that somebody finds him. Oh God, if only that was reality. Yeah. Oh my God, George's is coming, that's good. Of course, she's just totally blacking out because she's feeling that sick. Oh, good for him. Yeah. Somebody's lost a friend. God. Yeah, totally reasonable. Yeah, just get away from it. It's poison. Oh, where's this? Yeah, being in the total darkness, a theme that will be reoccurring a lot in this story. And you can see why somebody like him would resonate with Morgana. Because if in my opinion, this is only the beginning. Yeah, fair enough. Ah, so this is Michelle's chambers. It's good that she's there. I'd assume nothing involving taking clothes off. I'd assume he's just kissed her. I don't know. fair enough, but sometimes you just really can't help it. So I suppose it's interesting that what Michelle was saying is that tears are going to be something that really stains her and makes her have humiliation, but I suppose I do wonder if you could make the argument that basically scratching yourself and self-harming could possibly be just as humiliating if somebody realised that you were doing it, because at least if you're crying, it's obvious that you're upset, but if you're doing this, then people could mistake you for someone who's mad, and then that could just get you into a whole different set of bad situations, really. Yeah. And this is the worst thing, because this is just going to continue. Yeah. Yeah, fair enough. Who fucking cares about stereotypes? It's just a prison. And to be fair, I mean, it goes for men as well in this time. Both genders just having assumed roles and not being allowed to try the others and not being allowed to live as themselves. Really? Dude, it's like they've said a slur or something. I think it's really nice that Georges, even though Didier and Georges can clearly tell that there are a lot of difficulties surrounding Michelle, and obviously everything's going to get more difficult as time progresses, they are loving brothers, and they always will be, which is really, really nice. That's something that I think Michelle was very, very lucky to have. Even though obviously her situation is less than ideal. Fair. Yeah, I suppose you have a stressful situation and then you just take it out on your body, on yourself, and obviously you think that everything in the situation... But to be fair, it's not even wrong. Everything in the situation is caused as a result of Michelle's sex and body making her weaker and giving her these problems that she wouldn't really have had if she was a man. Yeah. Yet another thing you just want to kind of defy. God, yeah. She really is stressed. But, I mean, if I'm going to be honest, I think there's another thing that she's not really comprehending. Just what this man could have possibly done to her as well. Isn't it ironic that I remember the fucking obese rat incident, and there's Michelle just saying, "Leave my hair out of this." I'm surprised that he says that, even though obviously something like this happens. I mean, it does totally make sense, but yeah. Yeah, fair enough. And this is the thing. In a world like this, you don't really have much freedom. You have to maintain standards. So obviously, if you can't do that, which Michelle clearly can't, society's not going to treat you kindly. Seeming, well, obvious in the fact that she's being banished. Yeah. Fair enough. I mean, it really is the source of all of her problems. But, ironically, I bet you anything, if she didn't have a brother, if she didn't have brothers, everything would be fine. Bet you anything. Oh, God. Yeah, to be honest, this is a really good time for Georges to come in. Just talk. But also, that is, I mean, obviously he's made a big mistake doing so, and everything has gone wrong, and he's embarrassed himself, and the whole family's embarrassed. Like Didier said, it was not a good idea. But yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, so I suppose you despise yourself more than others. Yeah. Oh my god, I'm just so used to having literally no nails, because I cut my nails really quite short, that I forget that, I mean, that's probably just another stereotype. No, it's not a stereotype. This is fucking 1086. So, of course, they're not going to have many means of cutting their nails. Yeah, obviously. Yeah. Wait, what? In your lower lip? Really? Oh, right, yeah, that's from the biting, yeah. I didn't know it was possible to bite your lip so much so that it bled. What? Is it actually? Yeah, it's the blood. Is that actually possible? I'm surprised. That's not saying anything better. Dude. So he's an arse when he's drinking, but nice when he's not drinking? Dude, this person takes advantage of people. he thinks are lower than them. Yeah, sure, he can get away with it because he's nobility, but that doesn't mean he's a good person. You should stop hanging out with him, to be honest. Why are you dismissing it? Dude, he's somebody who takes advantage of people who are vulnerable, not a womanizer. Well, I mean, obviously. Nah. He's a womanizer who does that. Yeah, especially because of the fact that, oh, I don't know, Michelle's 14? Can you shut up? Yeah, you should not have said that. Yeah, because obviously if he took a liking to Michelle, but Michelle didn't take a liking to him, then, well, that would make her situation and her sex, just all of the troubles that her sex gives, a lot worse. Yeah. Yeah, you shouldn't have said that. Who's saying that Michelle wants to be with a man at all? Yeah, I see that. Yeah. Yeah, you don't have to be. Yeah. Fully fair enough, and this is the thing that is sick about society here. And nobility, I suppose. You have to. You don't have a choice. That's the stereotypical role of a woman. But isn't it ironic, in the end, that Michelle falls in love with a woman? Isn't that ironic? I think that is so interesting of a detail now. And to be fair, what's funny about the love between Michelle and Gazelle, it feels very human. It doesn't feel like, I don't know, intimacy or lust or whatever is making up the love. It just feels like two people really understanding each other and just being peaceful with each other. But there's no intimacy, that's the thing. I just think it's so funny that Michelle has been the main character for chapter 6 and also main character for some of chapter 5 as well, and yet we haven't even known Michelle's gender. But that's called the visual novel being a good story. Yeah. But I mean, that is true. She did. What about love though? Because Michelle said, like, I remember there was this one line, I don't even know where it's from now, I just remember it being significant, about him knowing the mistake of love, obviously, when maybe falling for Gazelle. And who is that woman in the painting? With her face completely cut out and bashed and carved. Scratches carved all over her face. That's not going to happen. Yeah, but maybe you will change, who knows, but that won't happen. Well, you don't have to be, that's fair enough. She's just confused. Yeah, it's just all twisted. Yeah. Worst time. True. Yeah, but Michelle plays along. Of course. You are not doing good. Really? Wait, is Amy in the room? But... yeah. So, was she on the other side of the doorway or not? I'd assume she is in the room. Oh, right, okay. Yeah. This might be a bit bad. But to be fair, I mean, I suppose... well, you don't really know if Amy's just going to be another person who's just playing into the stereotypes. Or maybe she's going to be able to help Michelle just as somebody of the same gender. Who knows? Not what I was expecting. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, reasonable. I mean, sure, there are pleasant men out there, but obviously you've never... well, you have seen pleasant men, actually. Your brothers. But I suppose the people that she doesn't know, all she's seen are people who make her force expectations on her and also take advantage of her. Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, fair enough. It's just sick to think about the fact that, I mean, obviously she did do a fair bit of comprehending the fact that that man was a sick pedo, but yeah, she took it out on herself rather than that man. But it's reasonable that she would. Good. Yeah, no, totally reasonable. Yeah, Jules just really isn't understanding of just what she is going through. I think it's a bit of both, to be honest. God. Yeah. Yeah. What were you hoping for then? Is there anything that she actually would have wanted to hear? Alright, well, oh, still the same chapter. I'll read more tomorrow. Yeah, isn't it funny? This makes that little bit more sense now. The fact that the white-haired girl's there. Well, that was really good. I love that. I didn't take a single break. So you know something's captivating when you read for the entire time, don't take a break halfway through. Yeah. That was just really, really nice, and it was interesting. And it's not really a theme you see often in visual novels, actually, people being kind of persecuted for their gender and, well, not really persecuted, but society being tough because of the fact that these people just don't feel like they are somebody they should have been. And, yeah. Oh my god, I just think this chapter is really where this story is going to totally unravel, I think. And that's why it's so exciting. It really is. And I do wonder what's going to happen with the maid. Are we ever going to be able to see her again? And what about Morgana as well? There are a lot of questions. And obviously, how is the story going to end? Because, yeah, I do wonder how many endings there are, by the way. It feels like there are a lot more to come. But, yeah. I'm very happy to say that I'm fucking excited to read tomorrow. And, yeah, I think it's going to be really interesting just to see where this goes. So, my questions are, who is the person that Michelle thought mistakenly fell in love with? Was that Amy? 2, I suppose, how did Michelle get banished? 3, what caused? There are indications that the mother has things that could develop into tensions with Michelle, obviously because of their contrasting views on what a woman should be. Well, I mean, no, it's not really that Michelle views women as people that should be differently. It's just she views herself as somebody who shouldn't be confined by her gender, really. Well, yeah, what's going to cause them to banish her? And, oh my god, Antonin as well. Antonin thought that Michelle was dead. Why? Oh my god, there's so much to look forward to, I think. Seriously. And... oh yeah, if you thought that couldn't be exciting enough, how the fuck did Morgana get resurrected? And why did Michelle know Morgana? And what did they have in terms of connection? Do you know what? I think that this is going to be a really quite long chapter, and I hope it is. Yeah, I'm expecting, I don't know, like, length of chapter 2. Or at least I hope it's the length of chapter 2. Maybe longer. Who knows? But, yeah, I'm just trying to think if there's anything else I can say. Oh, yeah. So, I think the reason why Michelle is... well, I don't really know. I mean, it's just so weird to think about the fact that even though Michelle is a woman here, there's also the indication that there was a strong indication that he was a man in the parts that we have seen, which is just really, really unusual. And you do wonder what has happened. I just wonder, is Michelle going to be a trans person? And maybe... well, there's one piece of evidence I can think of. It's a bit awkward to say, but yeah. I'll just point my mouse where I'm thinking. Yeah. It's the only thing I could think of that would indicate that at the moment. I don't know though. We'll see. But yeah, because obviously in the beginning of the story it was indicated that there were 2 things that made Michelle stand out from the crowd. So I would assume that would be the case. Who knows though? Anyway, see you guys.